Hi, this is Neetu from autoimmunity.in. We are a community for people with autoimmune conditions. And this is a place where people can connect with each other, share updates on how to live life positively with autoimmunity, and the most important part, inspire each other with positive stories. Today, we have Hiren with us with another story. He is a patient of autoimmune illness.
Yes.
He successfully lives his life, and he's here. And thank you, Hiren, for joining us on this series. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself first? I mean, what do you do? Where are you from? Just a little bit about yourself.
First of all, thank you, Neetu, for having me here on this community. My name is Hiren Tanna. I'm by profession, I'm a digital marketing consultant, and I live in Hyderabad. I'm basically a Gujarati vegetarian family, so autoimmune thing and deficiency is normal thing for us, maybe. uh, that's it.
Wow. So, how long have you been a digital marketing professional, Hiren?
Close to 15 years now. I started back in 2005, so
Wow.
it's 15 years, yeah.
Okay, and you've lived in Hyderabad all your life?
Yes, I'm born and brought up in Hyderabad.
Okay. So you've been around non-vegetarians, but you've never been a non-vegetarian. Why I ask is with a specific interest, because a lot of people have this misconception, that as you rightly said, non-vegetarians don't get autoimmune diseases because of the proteins and other things that they get, and vegetarians are more prone to it. But we'll get to that a little later. When did you get diagnosed, and what is it exactly that you have? If you could just tell us in your words.
Yeah, it's been, I didn't know it's autoimmune thing, first of all. I saw a patch here in my beard. Let's say basically half kind of thing. So when I Googled about it and learned more about it, that's when I knew that, it's something into autoimmune. But before this thing happened, I think 2 weeks ago, before I got diagnosed with this thing, or I found out this is autoimmune thing. We were in touch regarding some of the work.
Yes.
And that's where I found out there are 70 odd diseases which comes under autoimmunity thing. Right. And I guess a lot of times we have few of those things, but we don't know it's autoimmune or what category it comes in. Right. And when you're telling me about the autoimmunity thing, I understood few of the things where my family had few of the things. As you said, thyroid is also one of those.
Yes.
Thyroid is something common, very I think these days that a lot of women have it. There was one more case which we discussed earlier, and that was also there in my home a few years ago. So, but we didn't know it's something. We just know the disease name, and that's okay. We don't need to find out what all it could be. But when you have information about it, like is it autoimmune, what could be the conditions and all that, then we will go like to give you an example of corona. I think entire world knows what are the symptoms, what could be happening in us. But very basic things we don't know about some of the diseases which we already have. Yes. So that's something I learned after discussing things with you.
Well, so interesting. So just to share over here, Hiren and I got in touch in a professional capacity actually initially, and we are collaborating for this platform, and he is guiding us and advising us through a lot of the strategies on this platform. And as he rightly said, we were talking about so many illnesses and what kind of autoimmune illnesses there are. And to correct you there are over 300 plus type of autoimmune diseases, not 70 plus. There are 300 plus types that affect different organs. But the general principle remains the same, where the immune system of the body is attacking a particular organ or a particular part of the body and treating it like its enemy. So in your case, I read up before, so officially your autoimmune illness is called alopecia, which means that the immune system attacks the hair follicles in your skin, treating it like they are foreign, which is why in any particular part of the body, there is a patch, which just refuses to, in your case, it's your beard. In other cases, some people have it in their scalp, some people have it, in their arms. It could be anywhere on the skin. And essentially what happens is that much of patch never really grows any hair. Even naturally it doesn't.
Mhm.
So even the natural, hair that we have on the skin, that also is not there. So it's a complete like a bald patch kind of a thing. Just
Mhm.
just to share
Mhm.
a simple version of what the illnesses
Yeah.
are. So what sort of uh, what did you feel when you went to the doctor? And so I'm sure when I first approached you, you said, "Ha, theek hai, autoimmune illnesses are there conceptually, they are there in the world,
Exactly.
right? It cannot
Yes. Yes.
happen to me. It is somebody else's problem." But what did you go through when you sort of went to the doctor and he told you this and you realized?
Okay. When I realize it's something, it's showing up. Actually, family members told me, there's something here, and it's not either it's because we don't know it's a beard thing or what it is. So
Yeah.
couldn't find out easily first of all. But after growing a long beard of lockdown beard, whatever you call it, when
Yeah.
I got it cleaned, and that's when I understood that there's something here which is skin. You feel if you touch it, feels differently,
Okay.
and so I thought, and I'm very crazy about my hair or beard and all that.
Your
So
looks conscious.
that
You're conscious of your looks.
yes, yes. So
Okay.
and even in my colleagues and all, they just keep teasing. Every week he grows this kind of beard and all that. So
Okay. So
I have good growth on beard and also. And first I said salon mein nazar laga diya. Aisa. So, sorry for the language, but yeah,
yeah.
it's just basic term. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something. And when I went to the doctor, even in lockdown, first my call with the doctor was on video consult. So they said it's alopecia areata, that particular thing because it's on beard.
Yes.
And they said you have to do some tests like B12 and D3 and all that. So when
Yeah.
I got it done, I was deficient on both of them, like minimum. I was halfway according to the whatever the average requirement, minimum requirement was there. So I was halfway in both the sections.
Mm-hmm.
Um, B12, anyhow, what doctor told me was, it's common for vegetarians. That's why I said vegetarians
Yeah.
have this deficiency.
Yeah.
So they gave me some prescription drugs or basically the medicines and injections they prescribed. And what I understood till now is B12 is a lifelong kind of thing. So you don't get it from normal foods and all. You
Yeah.
have to be on medication on a regular basis. I said, okay, that's one thing. But yeah, when you go out, you feel this. So when someone sees it, or it's very common, it's visible now. Even with this kind of beard, it's visible.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
So it's
feel
not totally
luckily.
it's not a totally comfortable situation. So if I can understand,
Yes.
you are somebody who's conscious about your looks. You like to try new things with your looks. Most of us are today, but something like this maybe for a man is a little more disturbing because hair growth for a man is substitute of being a man, right? So obviously even bald men who have balding early in their age or very young in age also, there is a certain sort of a stigma or a certain sort of consciousness feeling that you get, that something is different, it's not normal. So I think
Yeah.
you went through that whole journey where you sort of took it in your stride very well, and you've been very positively sort of impacted in it, and you've not really let it. But I'm sure every time you step out, you must be giving it a second look and saying, yeah, well, is it covered, is it proper?
Yes.
So that has and has anybody asked you ki ye kya hai, what is going on?
Yes, a few friends asked. Luckily, I'm not meeting a lot of people
Too many
because of
people.
lockdown. But yeah, once or twice when I've met my colleagues when the offices were open for
Right.
a few weeks basically
Right.
during the lockdown. So yes, friends noticed this and they asked what is it, and I had to explain basically just normal explanation and something happened and all that.
Right.
So, but yes, this is one thing. Like, will I also keep touching and
So
it's
yeah,
normal thing. If something happened with you, whether it's face or somewhere else, you just keep touching it. So yes, I
so
get
it has
conscious.
made you, yeah, it's made you more conscious. It has also given you information about a lot of illnesses that you did not know existed. Um, uh,
Yes.
yeah. So interestingly, it plays with the social stigma is there when people do ask you, what is it? And there is not a simple solution like rash ho gaya hai. Yeah, it'll
Yes.
go away. It's not going to go away. So you have to build a
Mhm.
resilience. You have to build a viable explanation to other people that you don't get into too much detail, but there has to be something that you have to answer, so you figure out the best way. These things I think you have had to deal with, right?
Agree, but good thing for right now, me like because of Corona and all, we wear mask and it's not visible.
It's not visible, so
So the
everything
only
is
worry is it shouldn't happen somewhere else,
okay.
whether it's hair loss or something else. I am not
Yeah,
sure about what other autoimmune thing could be. So
right.
if this can trigger something else also, that's a. And with me, I'm not worried about diseases, but I am not someone who would wait for like 2-3 weeks for doctors कि यार बाद में दिखा देंगे.
Yeah,
So I'm someone. I've seen a lot of medical history in my
yeah,
family
yeah, yeah.
since last 20 years or so with my father, asthma and everything. So
Hmm.
I'm something, let's not wait. Go there,
Get
get
it
it
done.
checked. If something is there, oh, why not? Why delay? Even
Yeah,
after 10 days, you'll have to go there if it's there,
correct.
right? It's
Absolutely.
just a matter of a visit fee for a doctor. It could be 200, it could be 500, something, whatever it is,
Yeah.
unless you go for a
But there's an
specialist.
explanation. Yeah.
So yeah, just check it out. Now, क्या होगा उसमें वाला? तो
Yeah.
I'm someone who goes there. So it's for this also. I'm like, no. If there is something else, let's check it out. Even for my mother, what I do is their entire family is diabetic.
Okay.
Mother's side, basically, their
Yeah.
sisters, fathers, and everything. So I do. I try to do, or sometimes I forget. But whenever I know, there's something I come pass by every 3 months or 6 months, I get a
Check test.
diabetic
Yeah.
preventive checkup, basically.
Yeah.
So why wait for something to happen and then go for a check? So
Absolutely.
preventive, if there is something, go and check it out.
Absolutely. So if I could safely say, you are one of those lucky people who has the resources, who has the information, who has the
Yes.
awareness, and who has the acceptability to do something about a medical situation. What is
Mhm.
happening in our country today is a lot of people are suffering. They don't understand what is going on with them, and
Yes.
they don't have access to the right medical resources to define for them that this is a normal situation, or this is not a normal situation, and this is an autoimmune illness that is a lifelong companion, and you will have to just to
Mhm.
learn how to live with it. So this is a real state of affairs in our country today, and even mostly globally also, and which is the reason why I requested you to give us this time, because the moment people
Mhm.
start talking about it and saying that, okay,
Mhm.
this is how I got diagnosed. I went to the doctor, and he's given me medicines, and I'm okay. It's a companion for life. I have to live with it, and it's good. There is not. It doesn't define you. So Hiren doesn't stop being Hiren because he has alopecia. He has alopecia. Okay, he does. He's taking medicines for it. But Hiren remains to be Hiren. He remains the person who has a great social influence.
Totally agree. Yeah.
On the digital marketing side, he's an influencer. He has achieved all these accolades for himself across the 10, 15
Mhm.
years of his career. So he remains Hiren. He remains professionally capable to do what he wants to do and achieve all his dreams. It doesn't stop you from
Mhm.
dreaming, and doesn't stop you from achieving those dreams, right?
Agree. But what I feel is, especially in India, even we have, whether it's autoimmune or something else, we don't talk about diseases.
Yeah,
That's something is prevalent in most of the communities in
right.
India, whether it's South India, North India, or wherever. If
Wherever.
you like, especially cancer, kidney related things and all, I've seen people nearby me, neighbors and all that,
Yeah,
they don't tell, no, it's just a normal thing, we went for a checkup kind of thing. See, hiding it from someone won't make you well. So it's better you go and talk. If you are not okay in talking to your own people, then that is where the community like autoimmunity would help you.
yes,
uh, Good thing today is everyone knows how to use a phone, and even 60-year-old is on Facebook these days. So they
absolutely.
can just go and find out, Google it, and instead of Googling it, you can find out about disease, and then if you find out a community, like whatever the disease could be, if there's any community for it, and like a lot of parental blogs are there. So
Yeah,
instead of that, if there are health related blogs and communities, go and join them and talk to about. You
right,
might find some solutions. You might find some people who are into similar conditions.
right.
As a digital marketer, what I do is we find a lot of website issues, right? we go there and on a support forum, we find a lot of, yeah, this guy's also had this, and he'll tell you a solution also.
Yeah.
Medical conditions, this might not be the right thing to do,
Yeah.
but at least you can talk to people and find out if there is some other type of cure instead of what you are doing right now.
Absolutely.
Like instead of allopathy, do you have any cure in Ayurveda? Or instead of Ayurveda is not working for you, then is there any short-term cure for you in allopathy? Something
Or
like that.
some
So
foods,
that's
or
where the
some,
communities can be of help.
yeah, or a diet change you could have, or a lifestyle change that you
Yes.
could have. I was speaking to a reputed doctor yesterday, and he shared with me that in a patient waiting room, it's very interesting how people, when they have chronic illnesses, it's very interesting that they share their stories. I have been in such waiting rooms because of my family history, and again, you know, that bent ki hospital ke chakkar bahut hote the. So I have also waited in those waiting rooms with other patients and shared stories about what is going on with my family member, and you know, try this, it might help you, or before you're going for this particular thing, try and eating these foods. They will help your blood increase, they will give you more stamina to, you know, tolerate the therapy that you're going for, and so many such small advices, you know, that, and those are easily referable by someone who's been there. The important thing is, another human being who has not had that experience may not be a verified source of information to give you, but somebody who's being is in that experience or has gone through that experience is definitely in a better position to understand it. So do you have sort of, just digressing back to what how the doctors were sort of treated you on this, have they given you a local application medicine, or are you taking something, and have they given you some sort of time frame, like have they told you you have to take it lifelong?
Actually, what I was told is first take B12 injections on alternative days for 6 injections basically.
Okay.
But I'm not able to find any
Yeah,
GP here
due to the corona thing.
basically giving injections due to the corona thing.
Yeah.
That's a minus point right now. So what one of my dentist friend told me is ask a doctor if he can prescribe you medicines instead of injections.
Oral
It will
medicine.
be slower. It will be slower, but yeah, you can take
Something's
it
happening
for now. So my doctor told me that after these injections, you can take steroid kind of injections here for 6 sittings is what I was told, I guess. And they would, I think some therapy is there. So they would do injections on these parts. So that might not grow, at least if not something happen, like it won't grow up more.
Right.
So I was not clear about what is that, and I'm interested to take second opinion at least first.
Right.
Injections and all is okay, but at least learn about it first, because these days, especially this cosmetic clinics about hair and everything, we had this kind of situation or a case in Hyderabad. Basically, it was a hair follicle or hair growth treatment kind of thing, and they did treatment, and I think 3 or 4 people died because of those things. So, and what we see is because of this cosmetic thing, whether it's dental, hair, and all that, everybody is doing wherever the cheap cost is there. I've seen ads on autos where they are paying you 3 rupees per hair follicle or something like that.
Wow.
What would you do with that kind of thing? So it's like, talk about the treatment. We don't know if the person who is doing it is trusted, or does he know about the right thing or
A
not.
medical professional at all, in fact, yeah.
So
But
someone who is
just to cut you in, this autoimmune illness or, you know, condition that you have is not cosmetic. It is impacting. It is showing as cosmetically. It is for you, but the deep rooted problem is the lack of particular proteins and nutrients and vitamins in your body that have triggered your immune system to respond in a particular proactive manner and treat your hair follicles as an enemy, you know. So while we discuss the cosmetic element of it, the cosmetic element is something which is immediate for you to correct. But in the long term, the core problem is the lack of certain nutrients and your overactive immune system. And this overactive, and this overactive immune system can again show its face in different other autoimmune illnesses, in somebody who is already having one autoimmune illness. So the thing is ki you have now taken up, you're on a path. You have a life companion. Now that life companion can also translate into other such companions also in your life, which is the problem, and which is actually the thing that is unique about autoimmune illnesses, that it brings along with, because it's a core issue in the body. It is not something which is just, as not so serious as cosmetic. Cosmetic doesn't become serious. This is a little more serious than.
No, what I meant by cosmetic was the cosmetic clinic. These days, beauty clinics and all that, right? We are not sure about what kind of treatment they are doing. Everybody is offering laser treatment these days.
So you
the technology is something, very scary, first of all.
Yeah, it is. You were suggested a steroid therapy. You haven't started it,
Yes.
Right?
I haven't started yet.
Is there a fear associated with doing steroids, taking steroids?
Yes.
Lack of information
it's not just
or general prejudice? Myth?
Lack of information plus I haven't done the full research yet. So basically something I'll try to understand on
so if you knew, so
whether on web or talking to doctors.
Yeah.
That, this will help you. On what is that help defined? There's no information on that thing.
So if you
even after doing those 6 or 10 sittings,
if you were to meet somebody who was an alopecia patient and has taken steroid therapies and has seen no side effects or ill effects of the medicines, it would change your thinking, it would promote you, it would motivate you to go ahead and complete the treatment that has been advised for you. All the more reason for
basically, see, I know a patient who had PRP treatment for their hair growth and all that. After 8 sittings, that didn't work out. So what I see is 5 or 10% improvement.
Right.
But after starting that therapy, they said,
This was steroid therapy?
No, it's basically, I think they take their blood from the other parts of the skins and put it all across. It's what.
Okay, so that was not for an autoimmune
treatment, I guess. Not for autoimmune, but more of a health, hair-related thing. I am not sure exactly if that comes on, that also comes under autoimmune or not, because what that person has is hair issues like curly hairs plus white hairs at very young age.
Okay.
So that's something is there in there.
Premature balding, premature whitening of hair, graying of hair.
Whitening, yes. Yeah. And that's there. That's a genetic issue in their family, what I know of.
Yeah.
So that's something hasn't. So before doing a PRP treatment, the doctor should have at least checked that thing, which they haven't. They just prescribed and they told us you'll have to pay all this upfront.
Yeah, it was more from the commercial angle, and
don't want to do something like that again. Basically, I don't want to do something like that.
Yeah.
If they see, if this will help you boost your immunity or correct your immunity thing, yeah, I would be ready to do it.
Right.
But just because of doing that and the hair will come in, there's no guarantee that after 6 months or 1 year, it won't happen again. Maybe somewhere else
or happen somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, no use of doing that.
Right.
Actually, in fact, one of my friends told me, even I had this thing. He bought just off this desk basically from a Unani medicine shop. They gave him the medicine and he said it worked. I said that could be something else, I can't explain that what is autoimmune
and what is not. Yeah.
That person. Yes, so he said I also had something like this and I did it and it worked. So he told me just go and take this medicine from there, and I went there once. Luckily the shop was closed. So I didn't try it.
So the scary thing is, so these unverified friends and family resources are a big danger.
Yes.
Are a big danger, because if they are giving you medical advice basis their experiences, so it is very difficult. See, the core problem is I feel that they don't appreciate that this is an autoimmune problem, which means that the core problem lies in how the body is responding to your skin. This has nothing to do with only lack of vitamins. If you take some vitamins, it will get fixed. Or this has nothing to do with something which is like a rash that an antibiotic cream will fix. Or it's not on top. It is inside the body. It is the processes of the body inside the body that are compromised in a particular way, and they are manifesting on your skin. That's the huge difference, and most common people don't understand this. common man.
There's also this angle here. What I understand is autoimmunity is a condition and not a disease. People try to learn about diseases, then why that happened or what could be the issue and all that.
Yeah.
So that's something. What I understand is there is a gap in understanding of everyone, whether it's educated or uneducated people.
Right.
But that's everywhere. In fact, even when you told me about autoimmunity, what I understood was with the just word that there is a low immunity or bad immunity kind of thing,
Right.
not the extra immunity or the other side.
Right.
Because when once you tell me that the immunity is already working at 200% kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that could be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, lack of information is one thing.
Right.
People already have autoimmune diseases. They might know, like thyroid is like if you
So when you mentioned
thyroid,
so when you mention thyroid, also a lot of women in India have thyroid disease, thyroid problems.
Yes.
During pregnancy, after pregnancy, leftover from pregnancy. A lot of things have, but thyroid is very common. Again, having a normal thyroid, which is in hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, does not make it an autoimmune illness. It becomes an autoimmune illness when the thyroid gland absolutely stops producing the hormone thyroid, the thyroid hormone. And it is because the immune system is acting at 400% or 200% or more active than it is supposed to be. So having a normal thyroid doesn't make it autoimmune thyroid. An autoimmune thyroid is a completely different ballgame. It is a elevated progressive disease called Hashimoto's thyroid, which is I'm not the right verified source to get into medical terms, but if I was to explain to this in a very general layman terminology, it's like saying if you have thyroid, you can take thyroid medicines and you can reverse the impact of thyroid in your body with maybe diet and lifestyle changes, exercises, etc. In an autoimmune thyroid situation, the thyroid gland is not being allowed to function by an army of immunity cells in your body that are attacking the thyroid gland and treating it as if you are foreign, you are not, so you don't belong here, so you stop functioning completely. It is not so.
Thanks for correcting.
Yeah. So
yeah, because see, when I saw the list of autoimmune diseases while researching for something for autoimmunity community, basically, I also read it and I thought, okay, this is part of this.
Yeah.
But I didn't go in detail. So that's also is a problem when you have information but you don't go in detail. So that's
right.
something
So
that my fault.
So another common mistake is arthritis. A person can get arthritis but does not need to have rheumatoid arthritis. Or juvenile arthritis. Those are different things. Those are autoimmune illnesses. A regular arthritis is something that can happen and that can go away. It can be treated and it's fine. An autoimmune condition or a rheumatoid arthritis is something which is a lifelong condition. It is an immune system that is active and attacking the muscles and joints and the muscles that are attached to the bones in the joint area. So although, so I think we've spent enough time to explain and to probably bring out the point that not every disease is an autoimmune disease. And if it is an autoimmune disease, then it can only be rightly diagnosed by a doctor. And over-the-counter drugs are not possible and are not advised. And friends and family resources are the worst to get into in situations like this because they don't have this knowledge. Also, an autoimmune condition requires certain therapies which are long-term, which can be steroid, need not be steroid-based. It all depends on your condition, the stage at which your condition has been diagnosed. There are many things. But the best thing to do is first go to a doctor and get him to decide whether it is an autoimmune condition or not. And if so, probably get onto some support group to be able to, give you the right information and help you with certain tips and guidelines, or someone else to just tell you that, please go ahead with your steroid therapy because I had to take it 3 times or 4 cycles, but now I'm fine and it has been 5 years and I have not had a flare or there is no problem. If somebody was to come back to you like this, Hiren, and tell you that this is how I went through it, I also had my inhibitions, but I went ahead with it and I did maybe 3 or 4 cycles of steroid injections and then, it worked out better for me and now I'm fine. It will change your opinion.
Yes, it will, because in fact, I can talk to that person, understand
Absolutely.
what was his condition when he started or when he was diagnosed with.
Right.
It could be more, it could be less, depends on that. Then if something has worked for someone with similar condition or similar looking conditions,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind giving a try actually. So
Yeah.
it's not about money or the pain of whatever it is and all,
Yeah. Yeah.
but if things work out, then yeah, why not?
Yeah, there's a hope at the end of the tunnel, that and somebody can guide you
Yes.
through the whole process. Why do
Yes.
you feel that the doctor is not maybe the best source of information in this case? I sense that X doctor told you X thing and you were not comfortable. You want either to check, or you would prefer to talk to somebody in the same situation. Why does that matter so much?
Okay. It was because of my visit.
Mm,
First, it was video call. Second, next week they opened their clinic, so I went there.
mm.
And with just a glance, it was like they prepared the list of what to do
Okay.
without thinking, without asking, and everything and all that. In
Oh, okay.
fact, that doctor had very good reviews on Practo and everything on other activities, dermatology and other things.
Mm,
But alopecia, I didn't do anything. So basically,
mm.
one or two
Was
reviews.
did you ask him for another patient reference with a similar condition?
That's
No.
something we don't do generally in our
Right.
clinics and
That's
all
why
that.
I'm
Job
bringing
visits.
it up. Yeah. The confidence of the
Huh,
doctor would have come had he been able to verify that he has dealt with other patients in similar nature.
agree. Yes, and we all have a local doctor or family doctor,
Yeah,
what
the
we
guy
call,
who we go to for everything.
and we trust.
Yeah.
Sometimes what happens is we just visit him, and most of our symptoms are gone.
Yeah,
So that
absolutely.
doctor is there. That doctor is there, and but he's not opening his clinic because of corona and all that.
Yeah.
He's taking
So
his
this guy is new in your life.
consultations.
This guy is new.
So if I would have visited him and he would have said, Aaron, go and try to go for
Then
this
it's
doctor,
different.
or then it's different. That because he will give you time, he'll understand your problem, he knows what is your history with food, diet, and everything else,
Right.
and probably you trust him more
Right.
than someone new. So that's
Right.
one.
Right. So this is an interesting thing that you're telling me, that if a verified doctor gave you a verified source and made you go visit him, then it would have made all the difference to you. That's interesting.
Yes.
So anything else that you're facing after you started these medicines? Any difference in your sleep patterns? Your maybe your mind is working less or more, or you're feeling more sleepy? Anything which is not maybe work from home related, because work from home has changed all of us and our working patterns. But anything specifically you feel has changed once you started the medicines?
No, I have not started the medicine thing exactly because
Uh,
injections were prescribed and that hasn't happened yet.
right,
Um, Medicines I need to start. I need to find out the right medicines first.
right.
So yeah, no change. And because of work from home, we don't even know what change is that. The whole day we are at work,
Okay.
basically one room at
So
work, and then
nothing has really affected you
nothing really. No.
after this diagnosis as such.
Yes,
All right. Okay.
probably because of it's more of a
Cosmetic
look-wise perspective,
related. Yeah.
cosmetic kind of thing,
Yeah.
and it's not affecting other parts of my body as of what I know.
Right.
That could be one reason. Yes.
Okay. So, and you obviously have mentioned earlier you don't know anybody else in your family or anybody else in your friend circle who has a similar thing.
Yes.
You don't know anyone. Okay. Great, yeah. So, do you have any parting advice for someone who's gone through this journey of identifying, first not knowing what it was, then knowing what it was, identifying this whole journey? Do you have any advice for anybody else who's going through this? Because these interviews are focused on inspiring other people to come out with their stories, and more of like, hey, it's okay, I had it. Life has not changed too much. It's not that bad. This is how I'm doing it better.
Um, Multiple things basically. First of all, do Google. Doctors tell us not to Google and take this, but they tell us in case of taking medicines and all that.
Right.
There's no harm in finding out what it is. In
Yeah.
fact, I found out about alopecia areata because of searching on Google Images and all that.
Right.
So I just search for random thing like uh, beard patch kind of thing and all that.
Yeah.
So that's where while going to the authority websites like WebMD or Healthline and all that,
Right.
trust those. but not completely in terms of medication. Find out what is happening with you. Is the symptoms matching and all that? Do some research. Go to the right doctor. Otherwise, you'll happen to see some other doctor or your general physicians, and you start taking medicines, and
Right.
things, it will just aggravate some of the times.
Right.
So try. You don't know what stage you are. First of all, for any disease, it could be just starting. Maybe it happened just smaller patch here, but inside it could be on the third stage or fourth stage. I don't know, or by look of it, you might not know about it. So better get diagnosed the right way. Talk to your doctors. If you are not sure, take second opinion. It's just matter of small money instead of taking medicines for months and then nothing happening.
Right.
So yes, do some research. Don't take medicines from what you see on web. I highly tell you that thing is don't do that thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Or at
Self-medication.
least for dangerous things. At least for dangerous things. See, in sometimes the fever might look very normal thing. You just go and take um, Dolo or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It might suppress your symptoms for 1 day, 2 day, especially in this condition like fever.
Yeah.
Right now we know fever is very dangerous thing because of corona.
Correct. And it
because
could
of
mean a
corona.
lot of things.
So and also don't get scared that you have something.
Yeah.
These days you have medicines for everything. At least if not, it might not be helping you to completely recover from it, but at least it will help you prevent it from happening it more, right?
Right.
So do both. Talk to your doctor, do some research, find out communities. As I said in my previous answer, find out if there is any communities on Facebook groups, on websites, or Google somewhere. On Quora also. Quora, you can ask questions and something like that, right? So ask people, see what others' conditions are. Maybe a good thing to do is Google images, because if you see the right thing happening for maybe things like me, if it's a thyroid or arthritis, you might not be able to find any images. So see what all conditions you might already have. I found out that I have dust allergy, very common thing, but yeah, I do have dust allergy. I had hair thing earlier, flaky hair, flaky flakes or dandruff.
Yeah.
So you might think it's a dandruff, but it's not dandruff generally. The flaky thing is not dandruff.
Yeah, it's different.
It could be psoriasis and all that, right?
Right.
What stage, it's a different thing. So it's better to talk to doctors. But yeah, before that, you do some research and go to the right doctor.
Right. So going to the right doctor, read up a little bit about what your symptoms are. Do not self-medicate.
Exactly.
Don't self-medicate.
And even after knowing everything, like you are on medication from the right doctor, it's helping you and all that. Try to help others in the right way. Don't be the friend who prescribes everything, but guide them in the right path through a community like autoimmunity. You have autoimmunity.in community for us. Maybe for some other disease, you might have some other communities. So go there, talk to other people, help others or get help. Both the things basically.
Right. So great. I am so happy that you took out the time. Thank you very much. It's not an easy thing to admit to others that you have a problem or you are living with a condition, as you rightly said.
Yes.
So people use a lot of loose terminology, and I think it's unfair. But then, the more people talk about it, I think people will get comfortable. Like diabetes, very casually taken. That take care. Somebody is suffering from diabetes. It's not a stigma. People don't treat you differently because you have diabetes. They will just politely.
It's not something you have done something to your body.
Exactly. They will just politely ask you, would you like? So I presume would you like sugar or not in your tea? And that's more or less the way it gets defined, that if a person is dealing with sugar issues or not, and it stops there completely. It doesn't really become something. But I think
I'd like to add a point here, especially for younger generation who are not married yet. If you have any of those conditions and you know it, when you are getting married and all, tell them. I have seen few cases in my friends and others. See, testing for things like HIV and other things are very common these days, especially thyroid and HIV. Absolutely. And when I was looking for my matches, I got married through online portals and all.
Right.
There are options like, if it's thyroid or if it's HIV, something, you mention it. See, these are
Absolutely.
something your partner should know about. If it happens, if you had it and you don't know about it, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
But I have seen marriages broken because of these
Yes.
stupid mistakes. We don't want to say, we want to hide it and all that.
Right.
You can't hide it, some of the things. It will
Not with your
happen
life
at
partner.
some stage of your life. Yes,
Absolutely.
you'll have to take medicines. You can't hide medicines from them because you are living in the same house and all that. So
Exactly.
let's be open. There's no harm in accepting that you have some condition. It
Absolutely.
could be with any of the partner. It could be male. It could be female. It could be some with anyone. So
And
I
not
don't see any
not
harm in these things.
and not all autoimmune conditions are life threatening. They can all be well managed with medicines. People live very fulfilling lives, as you also said. Nothing has
Yeah.
changed in your life because
Yes. Nothing has changed.
yeah, because you got diagnosed with an autoimmune condition that is part of your skin. Nothing changed for you. So it's just made you more aware of certain activities inside your body that need to be monitored and that need to be managed. That's about all that changes in your life. Uh, Thank you, Hiren, for to share with us this positivity of courage, of strength, of resilience, of willpower, of positivity incomplete towards autoimmune illnesses. And we hope that these interviews will encourage people to talk about it. Yeah, to talk about it more, to seek help, to meet other people who have similar situations, similar conditions, and to understand that it changes your life, but it doesn't define who you are. It doesn't define the person that you are. It doesn't stop you from achieving your goals, living your dreams. It doesn't. It may change the course how you get there. It might slightly be little more difficult to achieve your big dreams, but you can get there. It'll just be a little more hard work. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Hiren, once again. And
Thank you.
we will keep connecting with you and checking on you later on how this is worked out for you. And thank you. That's it.
Thank you. Thank
All
you,
right.
Neetu.
Bye.